Chinese people come to Africa and give Africans paper, and we give them tangible goods. But for some reason, the paper they give to us it has more value than the tangible goods which we really have to offer. Hi people, and welcome to another edition of the Just My Opinion podcast. I'm Etah, and what I'm going to be saying is just my opinion, not facts, just my opinion.
Ok, on the other end, you have your boy Ambazador Ambazador, and tout ce que je dis, ça n'engage que moi, c'est juste mon avis, just my opinion.
Awesome. So today, on my own end, I wanted to talk about the recent racist accusation of the Chinese, and also I wanted to dive a little bit and talk about Stanley Eno and Jovi beef, something which has been going on for years and years. Then finally, artists being exploited. That's it.
Okay, and on my end, I want us to talk about the Jovi Lyrica. What's his name? Is it Lyrica Joe? Yeah, Jovi Lyrica Joe beef, and what I like to call youths and their involvement or social engagement. So youth and social engagement, basically. So I have all of these ideas mixed up in my head. That's why I'm looking for the best term to just summarize them. Yeah, youth and social engagement, and Lyrica Joe and Jovi beef.
Sounds interesting. So let's move on. Let's talk about the Chinese being racist. So recently we have seen the videos circulating on social media of blacks being kicked out of restaurants, Africans being kicked out of restaurants, being kicked out of their apartment and being insulted. And before we started, I was just watching this video on Al Jazeera where two Africans were being interviewed with a Chinese man, and they were trying to know the truth of what's actually happening back there. And this lady actually said it's true, things have become more racist. Like normally things are always racist as she stays in China. Like people don't want to sit beside you when you're sitting in the bus. People cover their nose when you're around. But she says things have become even more racist. And this was rooted from the fact that some Nigerians went to a restaurant to eat and they infected people there. So when that news spread around, it was like Africans are infecting people. And also the Chinese are afraid of a new wave of the coronavirus spread due to the fact that many foreigners are returning back home. Some Chinese and even some Africans, some people from other nationalities, they are coming back into China and they are spreading the virus. They are coming with the virus. So this has made the Chinese, the population, feel like, okay, how are we going to identify a foreigner? Basically, people who look different from us and people who look different from them are being treated poorly. So what are your thoughts, Ambassador?
So I have two ideas with this, right? Usually when I talk about racism, sexism and all of these things, people don't usually like my opinions, but it's just my opinion, so I just have to give what's mine, my own opinion. Yeah. So in this case, I mean, there is the general, before you even told me this, as soon as I heard this, I just felt like there is a backstory to this which we don't usually get. Because having spent some years in Europe, I know for certain that there were always instances where there will be this general outcry, but you is close to the incident, you have another perspective to it. I don't know how to explain it, but I just mean like there's a certain context which you will not necessarily have. I mean, not trying to take the side of any racist or anything, because racism generally should be condemned. But I feel like at times you see, even when we're out there in Europe, you do something wrong, the police want to come and arrest you, and things which normally we do wrong in our country every day, we go out there and we do the same thing, and when they want to arrest you now, you start shouting racism. You see, you become a black man, you see, you become a black man, and then somebody with the camera now films it, and then it's taken out of context that beating up a black man just because he's black, he was moving with his friends, and but you is there, you know that guy did something wrong. That's just an example I'm giving out there. So when I heard this, I was just, usually with things of racism, I'm just like, there is some content which you don't have. The story which is going to blow wild is going to be they're against black people. That's the one that will blow wild. This is what's happening here. But the back end to the story, you don't usually get it. The other thing is with me, racism, I always say, well, I was out there in Europe and I felt certain things, I felt like it was due to racism or whatever. But I always tell people like, usually the whole idea to solving social problems like racism, sexism, or whatever is people try to talk to the offender. But my own approach is talk to the offended.
Okay.
That's just my own opinion though, because I feel like the offended feels the pain more and they should be more motivated to try to do something about it. But if the offended is not doing anything about it, I don't really trust that the offender wants to do something about it. Because being humans and our animal side of things has a tendency to want to dominate, to do things to our advantage and all of that. So if he's offending this person, generally it's because he feels that he has an advantage or he stands to gain by doing this. So generally I like, but most of the time the tendency is to let's talk to the white man, let's spread the message, we're talking against the white man, but is there something the black man can do to make sure these things don't keep on happening? That's my own approach to it. So most of the time I tell people, and as you said, it makes total sense. In Africa or in Cameroon, where the context which I master, we might not be taking the necessary precautions to control these things. So some other people control things in their own system and they want to come and mess it up with them. This is not something to joke about.
Yeah.
So as soon as they see that, but now it happens that okay, the easiest foreigners they can identify by just looking at them is maybe blacks or whites maybe. But they know maybe the whites are taking better care and control at their end, but the people they might not trust to take care and control their end is the Africans. And they might have reason to think that way though. The next thing I say is we as Africans, we are the easiest victims to take shots at. I mean, like, Europeans brought this thing into Africa, but I've not seen any Africans running away from any white man, because we know the white man has money and he comes with all the blessings from Europe, in quotes. So even if he has corona, we are still going towards him to try to get that money though. But now, since the black man is that easy victim, nobody wants him, nobody stands to get. He's the person you can do anything to and then nobody will say anything. So, and they know. I mean, like, what we do most of the time is in places like China and in America and the rest, something is done to a Chinese man, the embassy is going to retaliate, there will be sanctions, economically some things will be done. But when something is done to the black man, all we do is we'll go on YouTube as we are doing now, we'll talk, people are going to make noise here and there, but we don't have any powers to do any concrete things, because one, we are not together. Some will say let's not, some will say those who get some money will say it's okay, the black man was doing this wrong. So there's all of those factors that make us weak in front of the rest of the world. So I feel like if you take the trend for most of the things I'm saying, is more of what can the African do to make sure that slavery, colonialism, racism and all what keeps on happening does not repeat itself all over and over again.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from, that we are the ones being offended and we are the ones who need to take charge and find this solution, because the person who is offending us might not really be motivated to take any action. We are the ones who are feeling the pain, so we need to take that action. On that line, there are some African politicians who are speaking up, like of recent in Nigeria, this politician, I've forgotten his post, like he shared this video on Twitter where he called the Chinese embassy and actually sat with them and he was talking to them, showed them the videos of things that are happening to Nigerians in China, and he said, I'm sorry if I don't sound politically correct or I'm not sounding diplomatic or anything, but I'm really offended by all these things happening. And the Chinese government also could have come up and they are speaking about it, and their point of view and their take is the Americans who are trying to diminish their reputation, and that they are denying any accusation of racism, that it's all the Americans trying to...
Much of what the Chinese, let's not spend our time talking about the Chinese as saying the Americans are saying. What I'm saying is, it's just still talk. Can there be some economic sanctions? Can there be some military action? That's what people listen to faster and better. But Africans are not in the place, they're not in that place to take any economic or military action. So we should just keep on building ourselves till we can do that. Till then, we'll just keep on suffering these things. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I just want to say also, it's one thing which is really sad, is because a friend just sent me this message from Paul Kagame, the president of Rwanda, where he was saying Chinese people come to Africa and give Africans paper, and we give them tangible goods, but for some reason the paper they give to us is it has more value than the tangible goods which we really have to offer. So like he was trying to say, Africans need to reshape their mentality and see what really matters and see who really has the power. And until us Africans start believing we actually have this power, we have this capability, and start taking advantage of the resources we have, start turning our resources to finished products, not just exporting them and waiting for the white man to give us the finished good more expensive, like 4 times more expensive than what we sold the raw material for, then we will still keep on having this kind of racist and this kind of treatment like we are less than.
That's why Kagame for president of Africa, I'll vote for him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really wise.